Hello, this is Demon Phoenix with another Witcher video, this time about how to get to Skellige early. So as you can see, this is the Skellige area that I'm already at, and this is on Death March difficulty. So I've got here, and you can see that when I go into the menu it'll be on level 4. So the way that you do this is you have to have a couple of specific skills set up, and you can go as early as you want. It makes it good. It's good because you can get a couple of the different Gwent cards, and you can also get all of the places of power and have more ability points to work with. So you can see there we've got all of the notice boards and everything ready to collect, and then you can do whatever you want in Skellige. The way that you do it is you have some specific skills. You need the Tamarian Armor Set from the free DLC, and you can buy that after you've gone to Vizima and go back to White Orchard. You need enough money to be able to do that. You also need 1,000 crowns to be able to buy the ticket to travel with the captain on the Skellige boat, but you can get that money back afterwards. So you need about 2,000 crowns in total. When you've got the money, you can go back to White Orchard and speak to Bram, who's the merchant that you save at the start of the game, and he will let you buy the Tamarian DLC armor, which is free DLC if you have it installed. The armor is quite expensive, but the reason it's really good for doing this is that it has really good slashing and bludgeoning resistance, and it means that you can survive a hit if you get caught by these enemies on the boat, because the recommended quest for going to Skellige is level 16, so the enemies are much higher than you are if you go at an early level. So once you've got the armour and equipped that, you'll have much higher slashing and bludgeoning resistance than the starting armour of the game, and you can use that to survive a hit if they tag you. The other things that you have is it's a good idea to have one of the blue skills like Delusion or Exploding Shield to be able to have slightly higher stamina regeneration, and also cat school techniques. But the main things that we do the damage with is a Divana runestone on the Viper Steel Sword, which you need to have found and made in White Orchard, and 2 points in the Poison Blades ability, at least two points in the Poison Blades ability, so that if you have the Hangman Venom Oil, it can inflict poisoning as well, and there's also the poisoning chance from the Viper Steel Sword. So this is how the fight will play out when you actually start and pay the 1,000 crowns to travel with the captain. You just have to keep Gwent up at all times and just keep hitting fast attacks on these enemies, and you'll see that eventually you'll inflict bleeding or poisoning on them, and it will gradually chip away at their health. Try and keep Gwent up at all times. You'll not really have the sound intensity to burn these a lot of the time if you do it at very early levels, but if you do go a little bit later at like level 7 or 8, if you have higher sound intensity, you'll probably be able to actually inflict burn on them and make it go even quicker. Watch out for the archers. You just got to make sure that here you can inflict them with bleeding and poisoning like that, and you'll see all of their health gradually going down, and eventually the AI people who are helping you on the boat will do most of the damage and actually end the fight for you. Just make sure that you keep the Hangman's Venom on your sword if it's causing any problems, because it will run out after only 20 hits. So the bleeding and poisoning will do absolutely loads of damage with Poison Blades and the Viper Sword and the Divana Runestone. If you get the Divana Runestone, it's normally just found randomly in White Orchard or in any of the places that you pick up loot. So once you get to Skellige, make sure you don't start a fight with this guy when he talks to you on the beach, because he does absolutely tons of damage if you get into a fist fight, because he'd be about 10 levels higher than you. But once you've done that, you can go and make sure that you loot the captain's body and all of this good stuff on the beach, and it ends up with a load of different things. You'll get a few recipes, you get a load of runestones and a lot of crafting items as well, and then you have free reign of Skellige. So once you've done that, you'll be able to go and get all of the places of power, and there are 7 that you can reach straight away, and then 2 later on in the story, so you'll not be able to get those 2 just yet. And this is the part where you're showing if you go behind this wreckage here, you've got the captain's body, and you can get that 1,000 crowns back, so it's like you've effectively not even spent that money to go back. So there's a bunch of things you can do in Skellige. If you've got the hybrid oil and you're feeling brave, you can actually take on the sirens that are on the beach as well. They're about level 13, but if you fight them one at a time and you split them off from each other just to fight them singly, even on Death March as you can see here, you can beat them. Use the same combination of inflicting bleeding if you get another Divana Runestone, and put that in your silver sword, but with the Viper Silver Sword, if you have that as well, poisoning will be able to do most of the damage. If you don't have a second Divana Runestone, you can always use a lesser one, so the lesser Divana Runestone will just take you a few more hits, and it's all just a bit of random chance. But you inflict the bleeding and poisoning, and as you see here, when the siren comes down, it will have already lost loads of health, and you can just beat them like that. If you manage to beat all 3 and destroy the nest that's on the boat there in the background, you can actually fight the Echidna, which comes out afterwards. And the Echidnas are really high level, it's about level 19, but it's the exact same principle. So basically all you have to do is make sure that you carry on knocking it down with the crossbow, keep Gwent up so it doesn't kill you, and then use the hybrid oil and poison blades to inflict poison on it. So here it is where you're fighting the Echidna now, it's still got the red skull and everything. but you can keep it grounded, getting in enough hits, and its health is so high that it'll just lose the damage from the bleeding and poisoning anyway. Now the reason you want to try and fight this thing is, if you've made a manual save before you fight it, you can actually beat it until you actually get the Echidna mutagen. When you've got that, you can make the Echidna Decoction, and the Echidna Decoction is amazing at this stage in the game. Whenever you use stamina up, it gives you health back, and so that basically means that every time you cast a sign, you can get health regen in or out of battle. So you can use that, and it makes up for having to use any healing items or anything like that, and that's your healing sorted for most of the rest of the game. So once you've got the Echidna Decoction, you can go and explore the rest of Skellige, and like I say, collect all the places of power. So once you've done that, you'll have absolutely tons of abilities. You can also buy the Thaler card from the innkeeper Arinbjorn, and that's a really good card because it's only one strength that it adds onto the opponent, and it's a spy card, so you can add that to your Northern Realms deck, and that can very easily mean that you can have spy cards for your Northern Realms and be able to win the rest of the games for Gwent as well. You can also go around the rest of the area and buy the cards from the other innkeeps if you want, or you can just leave them, and when you come back to Skellige to do it properly, sort everything out there. You can also go and win the horse races, and they get you like a little bit of extra experience points and a few extra crowns, but more importantly you can also get these Ericanian saddlebags, a decent saddle, and these Ericanian blinders. When you get back to Velen, you'll still be level 5 unless you deliberately go looking for high level enemies in Skellige, so it doesn't even affect your progression that much. And so you can see here I've got the 2 Viper Swords, Divana Runestones in both, and the Tamarian Armor Set, and I'm still only level 5, and I've got plenty of money left as well after collecting everything in Skellige with the Echidna Decoction and lots of healing resources. And then we'll have absolutely loads of skill points, so as you level up you'll already be ahead of the curve and be able to get either the fast or strong attack skill trees, maybe even get as far down to whirl a very early level, or rend. If you're going for a heavy build you can have a load of sign abilities, or you can get things like acquired tolerance and protective coating if you're going more the alchemy route. So it's an interesting thing, and it's not actually that difficult to do because you only have to really do the one compulsory fight. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for further videos. Thank you.